All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 1 hour rule, what special followers should do, and a reminder for everybody what they should be doing is making comments, all you special followers, new and old. And this is like more of a refresher. So what is this 1 hour rule? Before I talk about the 1 hour confirmation rule, if you see me post it, but it's something to always consider when trading. Um, so now, always look to make comments. Like even when I post, sometimes I post plans on Power Plan Trades, Power Trigger Trade here. Um, like this Twitter here, or this is just an example. Now this can be or the spy, this new spy one that I posted. You always look to make comments. Like you see, like you got the favorites, but make some sort of a comment. You know, because especially if you witness the September the 30th one is, that one worked very well. You can always make comments. It's good to be active. It's good for this board. I know, there's gonna be some nice things happening here at Power Trigger Trade. So really, guys, all followers look to make comments. Okay, this is just like and this is just an example, right? We want to get these numbers up, right? If you're not in the box, like everyone should have a profile pic of the same, right? You should be in the boxes so it's easy for me to see. Favorites are great to do. That's a click. Great. Favoriting something, that's great, right? But that's clicking a button. It's this that we need to do. Lots of this, right? That's what is lacking on StockTwits. And so, and again, when you're a follower of anything, to be making a comment on something is you're paying attention. That means you're paying attention, right? You understand what I'm saying? So if you can't, that's why I want people to make comments. It's as simple as that. This means you're paying attention. Whatever you can think of, whatever's in your mind about what happened with the trade, whether you got out too early or whatever it is, there's always something to make a comment on. It's very easy to do. And as for sharing, people can even when I just post trade ideas, we can share them too to keep that going on, especially if you like it. So as a special follower, anybody wants to be a special follower, this is what you do. Special followers, what they do is they share. Now you need to do this on a PC. I don't think this works very well unless you know how to do it properly on a smartphone. But basically, you share from the source. Let's say you want to share this Goldman Sachs chart as an example. You hit the share button, and basically that's about it. And then if you want to change something, you can just change, say something that you want to say, but you always want to keep the symbol in there and this part here. Or at least you should keep this part here. At least the GS and the Power Trigger Trade should be. And anything else here, you can make a comment if you like yourself. It's simply by erasing this and saying and leaving the GS, of course, you see, and then saying I really like this. I really like this idea. I don't know, just for example, right? And then just boom, you hit share, right? So when I automatically share something, it goes to both my Twitter. You can set that up and think, but right now, if you don't have something set up in StockTwits that can share whatever you say between your Twitter and Facebook account, then you have to do it two times, right? So anyways, you just hit this X button here. So sharing is just hit the button right there, and that's it. And then on Twitter, you just hit the retweet and the favorite. So now, the retweet, you got a comment, and then you hit the retweet button. All this doesn't take very long to do. You can see my point here, right? But taking the effort to do these things separates you from the lazy person, and and makes you look very interesting, or interested person. And again, it's not being done on StockTwits, so I'm trying to make my stream very unique, and this is why I'm doing the special followers. Because it gives incentive, right? Anyways, this is how I'm not going to change my ways. It's going to be done this way. So, and it's good to get really acquainted, really understand what I'm talking about. Now, what do I mean by the 1 hour rule? So let's take an example. let's take example, let's say guild, right? I find that, and we have my, you have my rule. So for example, in the first hour, we're trying to see that the stock's able to confirm and have good volume. Usually when they don't do that within the first hour, it usually means that the trade isn't going to be that, it may not work out that day. It may need another day, and you might get more false signals. And so if I use the 1 hour rule, basically you're using my instructions, but you wanting things to happen within about an hour, first hour, an hour and a half max. I find that the best trades happen within the first hour. Sometimes right in the first 10 minutes. It's just so clear, So that's the 1 hour rule. If anybody has any questions, just send me a message. But basically, it's just the first hour of trading, but plus with my plans, right? You need to look at volume and price action combinations are key, and it's also I look for the best timing too. Be honest, people. The last Twitter trade I had was kind of like an early. It worked very well. Had the volume. It was it was profitable in the beginning, but then it faded. And it faded because it wasn't really ready, and it was kind of like an early entry signal. And I didn't have all my screens agreeing. And and even myself, sometimes sometimes you get lucky when you go in a little earlier, right? But one of the things is I look for really strong alignment. That's the key to success. It's not about rushing. It's about getting into right kind of trades. Even I'll be honest, even the Apple trade. One of my plans that we had for Apple. I believe that above 112.50 area was the. Let's see this plan here. No, this is not the one. It's just an example, people. I mean, I don't even follow my rules sometimes. Yeah, this one here. This is the one we should have just followed, stuck with. My opinion. I find that early entry signals, like the Apple and Twitter trades, are just an example of it's not worth it. So I look for strong confirmation and good alignment, and that's the key, people. It's better to pay for the proof than to get in early. Even though the Twitter and Apple trades, they look good, right? But sometimes they don't have the right alignment. And so yeah, we can get in early, and it looks great, but to me, stuff like the Tesla trade was right away. It was a very well-paying trade right off the bat, and you know what? It had it confirmed very strongly, and it did so very quickly. By the way, within the first 10 minutes, that stock was confirming. That was quick. Again, within the first hour. So there you have, people. Be active. Because the key for everything to grow is the special followers. People, taking, like, without me having to say anything, you've taken the time to make comments. Okay, make the comments, whatever comes to your mind, on anything possible, anything that is applicable. Like sometimes things are old. You don't need to make comments on old stuff, but anything that's still trending that you like, you can just do something. You can do yourself. You can do a share, or simply make a comment. But the sharing, remember, one thing about the sharing is you want to always check the stream. So, for example, let's say we wanted to share Twitter, for example. Let's say you like Twitter, right? TWTR. So let's say you wanted to share Twitter. Here's the Twitter stream, and you can see that I have my chart is here as an example. So there's no need to reshare it. But let's say you didn't see my chart anywhere. let's say it was like this. There's this, we're going down and there's nothing around. Then it's time to then it would be time to share it on stock tweets. Now, when it comes to by the way, people, when it comes to Twitter, it's different. You can retweet and make comments. That's why it's very important to do this. You can do the retweets here. You just add a comment, hit the retweet button, and you can do that. Anybody can do this. Retweets are unlimited. Retweet away because it works differently on Twitter. Retweet away. Retweet, 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 retweet. It's very good. And I think we need to get the retweets up, right? Retweets are powerful, I think. For Twitter, it's designed that way that what happens is it helps that the chart move better up on Twitter, I believe, with the retweets and then favorites. So favorite is, everybody can make favorites and retweets, but when it comes to stock tweets, we need to be a little bit careful about doing the shares. We don't want to overshare the stream. There you have, people. Thanks for listening. Like the video.